This is the plaintiff, Marie Marcelino. She says she bought her son a hoverboard from the defendant's store, and he told her he could bring it back if her son didn't like the color. Turns out in Massachusetts, the state in which they live, you have to be 16 years old to ride a hoverboard, and her son's only 12. The defendant knew this was a present for a 12-year-old. He now refuses to give her her money back. That's why she's here suing him for the $450 she's owed. This is the defendant, Louis Andrade. He says the plaintiff saw a news report saying you have to be 16 to ride a hoverboard in New York, but they live in Massachusetts, and there's no such law. It clearly states on his receipt that he'll only give store credit on a return. Is more than willing to take the hoverboard back and give her a store credit, but she has decided to sue, and here they are. He's accused of not following the law.
Both parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bought her son a hoverboard, and the defendant won't return the money even though the kid didn't like the color. Now, the defendant's saying it doesn't matter the kid is 12. That's irrelevant. A deal is a deal. It's the case of don't hover over me.
Marie Marcelino?
Yes.
You are suing ICE Electronics Incorporated, represented here by Mr. Andrade?
That's correct.
Okay. For $450, the cost that you paid for a hoverboard that you purchased for Christmas for your 11-year-old son?
Yes.
Okay. What happened?
Yes, on 2 days before Christmas, I went to a store, and I told him about the hoverboard that I want to get for my son. And because he's only 11 years old, I was like, maybe I don't know if he will like the color or, anything, kids. So he said, actually, it wasn't him, it was the other guy. His name is Antonio. He said, don't worry about it. Anything happen, anything, just bring it back. My name is Antonio. You have 2 weeks to bring it back. Of course, I didn't look at the receipt if there was no refund on the receipt. So 2 days after Christmas, and it was all over the news. And
Where do you live?
Brockton, Massachusetts.
Okay. Where's the store?
In Brockton.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it was all over the news. My son saw it first. He's like, "Mommy, we have bad news. It's illegal after January 1st. You have to be 16 years old to ride it." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to return it in." So I went.
Okay, hold on. But you don't get your law from your 11-year-old. Where did you read or see this anywhere? Because
he showed to me, and then I
showed
saw
what to you?
on
Do you have
Facebook. No, he had it on Facebook.
Okay. All right. And according to you, it's illegal to own a hoverboard?
You have to be 16 years old
To own it?
Yes.
Incorrect. The only thing that the government does is they regulate, some towns regulate whether or not you can be on a public road on them. Okay? Not whether you can own them or whether you can be on them on your own property or be on them on private property. It's whether or not you can be on the road on them. So, but what ends up happening? You read or see what you see, and then what do you do?
Well, I just went back to him on Tuesday. I went back to him and I said, "Oh, I have bad news. I have to return the hoverboard." And he's like, "Oh, no problem. The only thing you're gonna get a store credit." And I said, "Okay." It was for my son's Christmas present. This is a cell phone company, so what am I gonna get for $450? Come on now. And he said, "Oh." There's nothing I can do about it. And I was like, but we didn't talk about this.
Well, what's on the receipt? Do you have a receipt?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Are you the person who dealt with her, or is your partner the person?
No, I own the store.
Yes, but did you deal with her?
I remember her coming into the store. My employee that she's having a conversation about is actually outside the country visiting family.
Okay.
So I'm here actually representing the business.
All right. Are people allowed to return for full refunds?
Exchanges only.
Okay. No returns on accessories, 14-day exchange or store credit on phones. Are you a cell phone company? How come you're selling hoverboards?
We're an electronics store. We sell phones, we sell computers, we do repairs.
Okay.
And obviously, I opened the business 8 years ago. At the time, hoverboards didn't exist. So this is obviously a fairly new product.
Perhaps.
Well, yeah, they did.
Not in your store, but in my head.
Yeah, and they weren't mass produced and sold at less than $1,000 at the time. So it's a fairly new product, especially for us that we do sell. But she was explained that she can exchange it, And there is a manufacturer's warranty that's out of store.
No, when I spoke to Antonio, he said to me, anything that you don't want the hoverboard, bring it back to me, and I will give you your refund.
Okay, I'm going to read to you from your complaint.
Yes.
Okay? In your complaint, you say, I wasn't sure what color hoverboard to purchase, but the salesperson that helped me said if my son didn't like the color, I could return it with no problem. Okay? That's talking about exchanging. Exchanging is okay. That's why he told you that.
No.
Okay, so if she's not satisfied, but there's a no refund policy in the store, and she says, I just don't want a hoverboard anymore, if it says no refunds, are there any circumstances under which she can get her money back?
I'm not sure. Maybe she can talk to the manager.
Well, whether she can sweet talk him or not, legally, can she get her money back?
No, policy is policy.
Is that right? That no matter what, if it says no refund, you're stuck?
It's policy. If it says no refund, it's no refund.
You buying that?
Well, there must be something like a law that can help you because you don't want it and you want your money back.
You want your money back. I want to be 6'2", but that ain't going to happen either, right? Okay, go inside the courtroom.
What evidence do you have? Because your evidence is exactly the contrary. What your evidence says is there are no refunds. There's exchange or store credit. It's exactly what they say they've always said. So somebody telling you if he doesn't like the color, don't worry, you can exchange it, is not inconsistent with that.
It wasn't just the color. I just put the color.
How are you going to prove that? Do your employees tell people, don't worry, we'll give you full refunds?
No.
Did this employee tell her that?
Even if an employee
did.
did state that, we have a store policy that's on the wall.
Did this employee state that? I assume you've talked to him.
Of course not.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what you want me to do for you. It's unfortunate that you're in this position, but you know that, just so that you're clear, Brockton law does not stop you from first of all, none of this applies to Brockton. Let's just start with that, okay, because I've researched it, okay? I think Boston just enacted, New York just enacted,
New York.
but what they're talking about in New York City, but what they're talking about is riding it on the public roads. It's not, being able to use it. Your kid can use the hoverboard.
Where is he going to use it if he's not going to be on a public road?
No, it doesn't have to. Listen, you don't have to go from 0 to 100, okay? And the kid's going to be 11 years old on a darn hoverboard. He might not want to be on a public road when he's doing it. Do it in your driveway. Do it on, in the parking lot of a place that's private property that you have authority to be in.
We have places that are designated for it in the city. We
there
have
you
skate
go.
parks.
You have places designated in the city.
We have skate parks, actually.
Do the skate parks allow hoverboards? They're considered a skateboard?
There isn't a policy that doesn't allow hoverboards. So legally, they allow hoverboards.
So right now they're allowing hoverboards. But pretty soon it's going to be like the snowboards and the snowboarders and the skiers where you have to have separate but equal, all right?
Pretty much. As of now, there's no policy that says that they can't.
Is the hoverboard for that individual sitting right there who's bored stiff? Okay. Good luck on the hoverboard. Wear a helmet, honey. All right? Verdict for the defendant.
Thank you.
Both sides, hold on right there.
Let's see what the plaintiff has to say coming on in here to the hallway after losing this case. What about this whole hoverboard thing?
Well, it was a Christmas gift, Now he's out for $450. He could have bought something else with the $450. I don't think the judge was fair.
Mm-hmm. What's the deal? What's the attraction to the hoverboard? Why do you want one so badly?
Everyone on my street has one.
Right.
So.
All right. What are you going to do with
With the hoverboard? I don't know what I'm going to do with the hoverboard because not even on the train, they won't even allow me to bring it here. So I don't know. I have to see if you
just walk. Okay. Head around this way and see the doorman. All right, so step on in here. Put yourself in their shoes.
I have. I've been in business for about 10 years. So, that store that I own, I used to be a consumer at that store before I purchased that store. So I've been in their shoes. And I even allowed that customer, I gave them the opportunity to take store credit, which I don't. It's exchanges only. So I'm still allowing them to take something that the kid can use. We have iPads, we have computers, we do repairs, there's phones. I don't know what kid owns a phone that costs less than $450. So there's plenty of phones that.
All right. Well, this is something maybe you might present to them. What you're saying to me.
We've had this conversation multiple times before we had to come here to discuss this in court.
You lost the customer, then you think, huh?
Probably.
Harvey.
Kurt, the defendant doesn't even have to have a no refund sign. Just because she doesn't like the color or her son doesn't, that does not give her the right to return the item. The item is good, it's fit, she's stuck.